Hello, welcome back. It's been too long. It's Macclesfield Town, but not as we were. Although we only got to 3 episodes deep, so maybe that doesn't really matter. We're in the year 2037, 38 season. You can see Premier League wise, we're looking fine. Fresh off a 6-0 victory over Red Bull Salzburg, but obviously there's a lot more than just that to catch up on. What have we done? We've done a lot. Obviously, I'm not going to go through each game. We could be here till FM 2022 most likely. But that tells its own story. Let's have a look at the overview screen. I think that's the best one. All the trophies lined up. You can see pretty much anything from this line to the left is what we've won in our tenure. So that's 1 Champions League, 5 Premier League titles, 1 FIFA Club World Cup, 1 Super Cup, 3 FA Cups, 1 Championship title, 2 League Cups, and league titles in the Sky Bet League 1 and 2, and 4 Charity Shields. We've also managed England, unsuccessfully, so we'll skip past that. We managed them for 1 campaign and got knocked out in the quarterfinals of the European Championships by eventual winners Holland. That was 2034, or somewhere thereabouts anyway. I'm not going to look it up because it was a disastrous time. It's a good start to the season, isn't it? You'd have to say. You can't argue with it. Some of the key players in the team, I'll run you through them because, there's some good players here that we've had for a long time. Record goal scorer with the club still, Helvin Cancio, 158 Premier League goals to his name in 287 appearances. 33 now, only 3 caps for Brazil. Seriously underused by his native home country, but well used by the Macclesfield boys. Who else do we have? The new forwards are Sebastian Marian and Mario Silva. Sebastian Marian, a French international. Only 7 goals for France in 26, but 61 in 126 for us. And of course, Mario Silva, who I mentioned, the Portuguese striker. Better for him, 6 in 13. Not very well used internationally. 36 in 77 for us. Not blistering, but it's Premier League. And new boy Raheem Maloney came in from Celtic. He's yet to score a Premier League goal, but a wonder kid nonetheless. Those are the strikers. In midfield, we have 2 of the best in the absolute world, if I can find them. Fabio Paulista, the Brazilian international, world-class midfielder, and quite right too. 12 goals in 33, just think Frank Lampard. And the other central midfielder, Carlos Navarro, injured at the moment, another world-class midfielder. Doesn't get as many goals. Had a good first season in the goals, 9, then 5 last time out. Big money purchase there. And Ike Arteaga is basically our lead. Ike has 384 appearances, 108 Premier League goals. What a player. Signed for just £11.25 million. Panic buy as it was. We needed a player in the January. He came in and absolutely dominated. He's just a hero. And you can notice 1 cap for Spain. What are they missing? Centre halves on our Poisson, or Poison, if you prefer. 188 starts or other appearances for the Mac. 25 now. French international, always wanted by, you guessed it, the men in white, Real Madrid, not going anywhere. And Julien Taborda or Johnny Mutombo, the Belgian centre half. Good player, I think. 168 appearances for the club, and also Julien Taborda. Not so many. His more recent signing, 24 appearances. Very good Argentinian centre half. He's been with us for a few years. He's sort of just come in. He's happy to sort of rotate, which is good. At left back, it's Wagner. We bought him in on a free from AC Milan. 219 appearances. The captain. We're waiting for him to move on, really, as Richard Eaton, the English left back. We blooded him in the England team as well, and we signed him from Spurs. 59 million. You see, we have to pay the big bucks because we are the big team. And first choice between the sticks, Furkan Kara, the Turkish goalkeeper, the giant, the man. 194 appearances, just conceding 113, so he's well under the goals per game ratio, which is good to see. It's a good side. There's a few more players in there as well. Sebeko is a South African winger, very good, signed from Schalke. I think he was 67 million pounds, came in on the right side, has done very well. Left side, we've mentioned Arteaga. The new replacement for him really is Juan Figueroa. He's out with an ACL injury. You can see there he's out for another 9 months or so. But he arrived for £41 million. Didn't set the world alight in his first season, but really took the bull by the horns last year and has has started well this year, but obviously season curtailed by that unfortunate injury at right back. Carsten Hilsum, the Danish right back, not a great crosser of the ball, which is disappointing, but he does everything else well. He's been with us for a few years, and you can see he's performed superbly throughout the table. Not very many changes from who you might expect to see in the Premier League. Bolton, well done to them for making it back. They've been a bit of a yo-yo club, actually. They've been in the Premier League on and off a few years. Sheffield United playing well this season. Swansea having a breakthrough season, it seems. But other than that, names you'd expect to see. Maybe Brentford a surprise. Charlton, of course. But nothing too ridiculous. In the Championship, it gets a little bit more ding-dongy. We've got Burton in there, although they've been in there in recent years in real life, of course. But other than that, you could say pretty much it's a settled Championship table. Orient in there, Leyton Orient, of course, surviving well in mid-table, it seems. But it always seems to be the usual suspects that get promoted back. You see there, Fulham promoted in 3 out of 5 seasons. Newcastle also in there, constantly being promoted. And you can see when we came up in 2024, so we're approaching 15 years in the Premier League. And it's been pretty good. I thought I'd rejoin now, just to sort of finish off the old FM19 bandwagon, if you will. And we've got a game against Chelsea in a few days, so I'll run through that. I'll come back to you with... We're going to make you watch... We're in 2037. It takes a while. So stick with me, and I'll let you know any breaking news as it comes. As I say, we're fresh off the back of a 6-0 victory in the Champions League. Chelsea next. Chelsea down in 5th. So they've been a bit of a yo-yo in terms of the league as well. You can see there, one good season, one bad season, one good season, one bad season, one good season. Looks like they might be starting to steady the ship. They're in 5th, managed by Thomas Tuchel. They've got some good players. Christian Marriott is an attacking mid that we've looked at several times. Doesn't sound Italian, but he is. And their best player also Marriott. So one to watch out for. Nothing really to be concerned about in their squad, but we'll see what we face on match day. Back with you in just a second. What a game to return for. 1,100 games in charge of the Mac. I mean, this has come up at a perfect time. During my career, we've amassed 12 trophies, seems like more, and collected no less than 48 awards. We've lifted 8 league titles, winning 12 cup competitions, so I suppose it is more trophies. You do get a trophy for the league title, of course. And we've shown a preference for a younger talent, which is good. Average age of just 24. Well, I mean, that's all we've won there. It takes an entire 4 lines to get through. And, of course, we've won Manager of the Year in the Premier League 7 times. Now, given that we've only been in the Premier League for 14 or so seasons, winning it 50% of the time is pretty good. Let's have a quick look at that. You can see there, we won it in our first season. You don't get a 2nd place or 3rd place, which is a bit odd. It took us a few years to get back to the podium, but we did. Then us again, and then 4 out of the last 5 seasons with Unai Emery, who hasn't been at Arsenal all that time. He's had an interesting little career since leaving Arsenal in 2021. Managed Manchester City, Real Madrid, Manchester United, Barcelona and Arsenal. That's a career. Done it very differently than ourselves, of course. So they have the results on Saturday afternoon in the Premier League. Brentford beating Liverpool by 2-1. Early setback in the season for Liverpool, if it is still early in the season. We're 9 games in now. Nothing real to chat about. Manchester United dropping points at late doors as well. Bournemouth grabbing a late equaliser after Manchester United all but seemed to guarantee the 3 points would remain at Old Trafford. 2-2 it finished, and that gives us a chance to go top of the league if we can manage to beat Chelsea. A few draws, 2-2s all around actually. 3 out of 6 games finishing by the scoreline of 2-2. Tight, very tight. There we go then, exciting game early on Super Sunday. Southampton and Arsenal finishing 1 goal apiece. 3 red cards in the game, all coming in quick succession. Jamie Hughes is a legendary Arsenal striker. I think he's got more goals for Arsenal than even Henry, 223. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's pretty good. We've tried to sign him pretty much every year, but had zero joy. Arsenal unwilling to, and unsurprisingly, unwilling to move on any kind of asking price. But Mika Dyer sent out. You know these names now. You know these. I mean, you guys won't obviously, but I know, and that's Ray Jameson. So you know, I know these people. I know these people. They've all been sent off. 3 English players sent off in a Southampton Arsenal game. You'd be lucky to get 3 Arsenal players wearing or playing for, you know, being English. To be fair, these days, but there we go. Chelsea are a bit of a, as I say, a hit and miss side. They're not. I don't think they've won anything since the save started. So, and we have. So I would make us favourites certainly. So let's get out there. This is the Steve Burr Stadium, 57,000 seater. Replaced the Moss Rose a few seasons after we got promoted to the Premier League, and we fill it most weeks. To be fair, it's disappointing that the stadium wasn't named after me, but there you go. Ooh, as Chelsea go close, just over the crossbar in the first few minutes. But yeah, a new stadium, the Steve Burr Stadium, not named after myself. I don't know when we'll be eligible to get a new one again, as Arteaga finds Paulista, who just goes over the crossbar from range, and inside 6 minutes, both sides threatening from distance. Hopefully we can... I've noticed I've just left Wagner on the bench. Wagner's the captain. I normally use him in the big games. Not today, though. Richard Eaton at left-back gets the nod, as Marriott collects his throw-in on this far side to Mejia, Bush. You won't recognise any of these names, and to be honest, I don't recognise most. Bush again, bringing the ball forward now, Stringle, who is a good player. I do notice that he scores lots of goals, and there's Marriott, keeps Chelsea ticking. Bush, and here's Stringle. This seems dangerous, doesn't it? As Christian Marriott plays in Mejia to Paoli. Great tackle, and the ball will break to Mario Silva. He's got the pace to burn as he streaks past one. He goes past 2, 3, and Sebeko in support, and he crashes it beyond the goalkeeper, Hodgkinson. The England goalkeeper, I can tell you, here's Jared, I think its name is. And it's an early goal inside 16 minutes. Great work by Mario Silva. Had the vision and the peace of mind to lay the ball out to the South African winger. Hodgkinson will be disappointed with that, but it was lashed at him. Wet ball, perhaps. And Macclesfield take an early 1-goal lead. Half an hour played then. Bush's free kick towards the back stick. Richard Eaton clears it, but not convincingly. And saved on the line by Furkan Kara. I'm not sure that was the moment, as Ika Arteaga will manage to bring this clear. And we... come inside now to Mario Silva. Pauses, back to Arteaga. Inside now to Clark. Fabio Paulista, back to Clark. Long ball out to the wide area now with Hilson. Crosses, and Marianne, he gets the knockdown, and it's in the back of the net. 10th goal of the season for the Frenchman. And poor goalkeeping again from Hodgkinson, you might say, as we take a 2-goal lead just on past the half-hour mark. A good ball in by Hilson, and a second opportunity here. Good header. Decent save in the first instance, perhaps, but couldn't get there for the second one. Tried to make himself big, and Chelsea behind 2-0. We'll check VAR for no apparent reason here. If you need to check that, linesman, you shouldn't be having the flag, as Marianne tucks it away. Corner now. We're just a few minutes short of half-time. Sebeko to Clark. Crosses deep and headed in by Johnny Mutombo. First goal of the season for him, and surely 3-0 and game over at the Steve Burr Stadium. If you're a Macclesfield fan, Steve Burr, let me know sort of who he is to you. I've read it on Wikipedia. He played a lot, although no one seems to know quite how many times he played for the Mac, according to Wikipedia, and that's as far as my knowledge goes, sadly. So, yeah, let me know how big of a man Steve Burr is in the Mac. But, yep, 3 goals to the good. We can't be anything other than pleased. We'll tell the boys basically to keep their eye on it. Chelsea are not mugs, even though we're mugging them off at the moment. They could easily get back in. They've got the talent. They just don't seem to be able to put the results together to make a consistent or coherent challenge to any kind of the title runners. You can see ourselves and Manchester United on 25 points, and you have to go realistically down to Liverpool in 17 points in 4th place to come across any kind of title challenger. You'd have to say Swansea are not going to be up there come the end of the season. It would be nice to see someone else in the top 6. Second half's been boring. Let's make a change. 20 minutes to go. I think what we'll do is we'll bring on Warren Hallcrow. He's a youngster, a wonder kid, of course, with us, and we'll bring him on in left back. We've got Martin Hoffman. He's 17. You'd think Hoffman, German, Austrian maybe. No, he's Slovakian. Of course he is. We'll bring him on later as we watch Harry Clark tire. Harry Clark is our sort of backup midfielder, and we'd normally be playing the man who's out injured at the moment, and that would be Fabio Paulista, or no, it wouldn't, Carlos Navarro. So he would normally be playing there with Clark coming on. So we're going to see if we can break Hoffman in. He's played a couple of times recently. He's played very well, actually, although one of those games was a League Two cup tie. against Lincoln as Mario Silva drifts one wide of the post. And that's pretty much the only action of the second half that we've seen. And let's take off Harry Clark and bring on Hoffman. You can see he's more of a box-to-box midfielder. And I think we'll bring on Alish as well. So we're really giving our young talent. These players are very young. Alfred Alish and Martin Hoffman, very young members of the squad. And we're giving them the time to blood into this side and grow into the Premier League with Mac. As Richard Eaton will take this throw in, but it's all game over. And Hoffman, nothing doing. It's 3-0, first half score. As we said, it was game over. And what can you ask for? 3 goals to the good, 0 real efforts from Chelsea. And commanding at the top of the Premier League, albeit on goal difference. But a great start for us. I think we've only conceded 2 goals in the Premier League. Yeah, 1 against Watford and 1 against Bolton. Marianne is always wanted by PSG or Barcelona or Chelsea for 104 million. That wouldn't get it. That would not do it. Anyway, the future is bright. 2037. We'll crack on. I'll try and do another video in the immediate future. We'll probably come back for this Manchester United game, seeing as it's a top of the table clash. Why not? But do pop a like on the video if you've enjoyed. Subscribe as well if you're new. We'll have FM20, of course, coming out in early November, mid-November, sometime in November. And comment as well. Let me know how far you've got in 2019's version of Football Manager. Have you got to this stage, 2037? Have all the real players disappeared? Have you got any interesting managers? Berbatov manages Watford. That's probably the most interesting one here. But let me know. I'd be very interested to read, and I will, of course, always respond to any questions if you want me to check on your team to see how they've done in this save. We are quite a way in, I suppose. Not many people make it this far. Maybe they do. In my mind, people play 4 or 5 seasons and then move on. I can understand that, but I like a long-term save when I can actually get the time to do one. Just haven't had the time to do the videos, but I will be doing that in the future. Take care and goodbye.